First, did I hear right that this album is coming out early next year?
This album is going to arrive in early 24.
Okay. And I heard in an interview that you recently did that you wanted to hold some of the songs back. You didn't want all of the songs to come out early, so there is a reason for people to want to buy the album. How did you determine which songs to release early and which songs to hold back?
I'm going I'm going in order of feeling. Of feeling. I released Sweet Reunion because it's so palatable to the everyday person. You know, it's the music is just it's something that's sweet and really familiar, you know. Then I know it's not really, I wouldn't say it's funky. I would say it's more of a groove, but it's very intricate in the way it's arranged and the way the vocals are. So you get to see that I'm coming from a lot of directions, but the main direction I'm coming from is valuable or value. I'm in value. I'm a quality artist, quality music maker. Then with Kid Zero, I knew that that was going to top it because Kid Zero is a chance to introduce the fact that I am in smooth jazz because my voice is actually like an instrument. It's like David Benoit's piano or Dave Koz's saxophone. It can blend right in.
Yeah.
And then Lausanne, putting that out now is to let the whole audience know that's been exposed to me that I mean business. That I really want to get you some beautiful things that help enhance your life, that help you make you feel better while you're here on planet Earth. We don't know the next stop. Just like people did for me. Just like, Pat Metheny did for me, and Jaco Pastorius and Carole King and Earth, Wind and Fire and I mean Grand Funk. Can we go on? Rod Stewart, the Carpenters. Without them, I'm nothing. So now I'm on the vanguard. I'm on that wall, and it's my responsibility to those who built me into such a beautiful person through their music to make sure that other people have an opportunity in the time of everything just going in all these different directions.
You mentioned Earth, Wind, and Fire. When I was listening to I Know, I was getting some strong I Am and Faces vibes. Was that intentional? Was I really close on that with what my ears were hearing?
It wasn't meant to. It's so built in me. It's so built in me. I just grew out of it. I grew out of their music from their first album, First Days of Time. I've been influenced by them. So it just, my singing and the stuff that I had to contribute came from what they gave me. I'm the kid that got the Earth, Wind, and Fire album on Christmas morning, every Christmas morning. I got the Earth, Wind, and Fire album. Or if I didn't have it, my buddy up the street said, I got it. Run over here. Let's listen to it. And this is in, 75, 74, 5, And so it's a good thing that it has a continuity, because that music or that type of music, for its own reason, moves people's lives forward in a positive way. Sing a song when you feel down and out.
Mhm.
Happy feelings.
Mhm.
Yearning, learning. You know, and it's the same with the Carpenters. We've only just begun to live. You know what I mean? Kiss of luck, and we are on our way to this life. But it's done to something that makes us feel good about it, you know? And when the evening comes, we'll smile. So much in life to choose. We started walking, but we'll learn to run. You see? So I'm the real deal. I feel like I'm the real deal. That doesn't make me better, because I can never be better than a Rod Stewart, or better than a Phil Collins, or better than a Maurice White, or better than a Jaco Pastorius, or better than Grover Washington Jr., you know, or better than a Def Leppard, or better than Slash, or better than any of them, because they're musicians. I'm a vocalist, and my voice is my instrument. You see? So I'm the perfect fit for where I am. And my music is representative of the people that are out here that believe in love, that believe in service, that believe in truth, that believe in what's right, that believe in helping, that believe in equality. I'm their guy.
Why now at this point in your career did you decide to do this project?
It came around. I had to wait for it. Jamie Foxx went into music about 10, 15 years ago. Eddie Murphy went about 20 years ago. I wanted to do it from the very beginning, because I was a singing protege as a kid, and music has always been my first love and my first talent, and comedy came into it. So I had to really be emotionally careful, patient, and strategic, which is a new skill, and wait for the right time. Wait for the right time. You know, there's the natural part of being able to emerge, which is, you know, you got this concrete sidewalk, and all of a sudden there's a crack in it, and you see a plant coming out of it. You know what I mean? You know, but woo, what's in that seed? You know? So it without it opening up, without that crack, can't reach its full potential. So I stuck with that little plant there and said, hey, I'm gonna be okay. If that can grow out of the middle of a big giant concrete freaking slab, then I can do music.
Who's playing on this album? And I mean, besides the big names like the Richard Elliott's, the Dave Koz's, the Kelly Minucci's, who all else is playing in the studio with you?
Wow. I got a guy named Corey Baker, who's a bass player. I got another guy named Chris. I'm gonna forget Chris's last name, but we call him Big Dog. I got Greg Manning, who plays every keyboard that you can possibly imagine. Guitar players is a Jay Gore guitar player there. There's just many musicians that I've known over the years that made their contributions. You know, there's a lot of cats that have came and influenced his music and played on it. And I got lucky because of all the years I've been in the business. Byron Miller is another influence of mine, who played with George Duke and Roy Ayers for years. There's just so many. Rayford Fuller, who played for Anita Baker, and what's the Jean-Luc Ponty. You see, so just these musicians that I've met over the years that consider me a musician.
The ones that I mentioned before, I guess you could call them the bold names, the featured artists on these released songs. How did you get them to be on this project? How far back did you know some of these guys?
I only met Dave Koz about 4 years ago on his cruise, but I knew his music forever, so we fell in love promptly. I met Richard Elliott about that same time, and I just think that the reason why they did it I really don't know why. I just feel really lucky. I just think that they really liked me and they really like my music. And they said yes.
Simple as that. Did you, I mean, did you work on arranging any of the parts with any of them? Did they come in and they knew what they wanted to play? Did they improvise? How did all of that work in the studio when these folks come to play on your songs?
I make it easy for them. I put the music right in front of them. And I put, with Richard, I just sent him the music and said, tell me what you're feeling on this thing. And he gave me his pass. And then Koz met me at a studio over in LA, put him in the booth. He went and did his stuff. And then we went back over it. I told him, hey, can you try this? Can you try that? He did all of it. And it all ended up on the record.
Very nice. So that sounds just like the classic session musicians, the LA session musicians, like the Wrecking Crew or the Toto folks or whatever. They come in, they know what they're doing. They know how to put down their part. They can do some improvisation here and there. Who else do you have lined up, if anyone, for the rest of the album?
Going into the future, I've got some names.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't know Jocko's last name, doggone it, but he's a guitar player out of Granada, Spain. He's sharp. I'd have to really think about that because I'm so much in my head. But there's a lot of musicians that I have my eyes on. Bobby Lyle, the Black Violins. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're unbelievable. Just a lot of Patty Austin.
Oh gosh. Gosh.
Patty Austin. Man, the list goes on. This is fun to just think about it. David Benoit. I want to work with Keku Matsui. Go ahead, keep going because the name is coming into my head. But you were going to ask what?
What is your perfect dream artist? And maybe this is someone who has passed. I don't know. Maybe it's someone who's around today that's like shoot for the moon, best person you could have. Who would that be?
I'd like to work with the Carpenter guy.
Richard Carpenter?
Yeah. I like to work with Richard Carpenter. There's so many. I like to work with Pat Metheny. There's just I'd love to work with Marcus Miller. Love to work with Marcus Miller. This is a dream list. I start getting a little nervous here, you know.
There's some good artists you're mentioning.
Yeah. I'd like to work with Andy Snitzer. Andy Snitzer, the guy who composed Lausanne, which our compositions are totally different. But I was able to take his version and bounce it down to what I wanted for the audience for me. And he said, yes, it's okay. You can do it. And I'd like to work with him because I love his music. I like I'd like to work with Norman Brown. I've already worked with Gerald Albright. He's one of the singles I got coming, you know? So yeah, a lot of cats.
It sounds really good. If there was a different genre, or looking way out in the future, but on a different project, would you want to do something other than smooth jazz, zag, to a different sound, or do you want to stick with this?
This is the entrance. This is my entrance into the music business. I'm starting with smooth jazz, and I'm sticking with it. And when other avenues start opening, I'll move in those directions. The way that the music industry seems to be set up is that, you know, even though there's genres, everything is just dumped into the same hole, you know? The only thing I can really do is reach as many people as I can with the best stuff I got in whatever genre. Right now, I think I can do my job best in this genre. Although, you know, I'd love to work with Slash and Phil Collins and Def Leppard and Kenny Wayne Shepherd and, you know, Jerry Cantrell and, you know, don't tempt me now. You know, I'd like to work with, you know, with Snoop and, you know, just, I mean, Bad Bunny and, you know, lucky for me, I'm 100% fertile when it comes to music.
How do you think your career would have been different if, as you said, you had the talents? You were kind of a protege when you were younger. So what if you had pursued music more, late 80s, early 90s? That had been your career. Would you have found yourself going back to comedy and acting? Or did it really have to be the way that it ended up being?
This couldn't have happened no other way. That led the way. That led the way. You know, it was just the thing that brought me to this. Notwithstanding, that is the most valuable contribution that I've made to the entertainment industry is what I do comically as an actor and all that. It's another talent. And I can still do it. But I can do music, and I'm gonna, because I don't want to leave out people out there who I want to create an opportunity for them to reach their full potential spiritually, aspirationally. I don't know if there's a real word, but you can do anything when you text, right? They'll know what I'm talking about. I'm like, I can draw a parallel. I'm like the advent of penicillin. It doesn't matter where I go. I just need to go where it's needed. And there was a huge need for it. And I feel the same way about human development. I want as many humans to develop into the type of human being that's willing to help and willing to serve this place, as willing to take from it for just themselves.
This is a good contribution, this project. By the way, is there a name for the album yet?
Yeah, Stronger.
Stronger, okay. So looking for that in the new year. Stronger, Tommy Davidson. Folks listening to this right now, go find the songs, listen, you like them. Tommy, thank you for taking some time to chat today about this and all of this going forward, and hope more of those collaborations come in the future.
It's coming around.